Hi everyone. I didn't give forewarning for this live, but I'm going through the comments and I figured that I should just come live to help better answer the questions. And hopefully some people will pop on to ask more live questions. But I want to help you understand how to interpret trackers for greater success. Because the first things first is you can help you or anyone else unless you're tracking. So you'll hear me say that a million times. Unless you write down what you're putting in your mouth every day, you're not going to be able to really lose weight effectively or learn how to lose weight effectively for your future. Hey, Stephanie, Tara, Liz. I'm going to, hey, Cornicia, and Kendra, I wanted to talk about interpreting trackers for a little bit. So the first things first is you need to track. In order for you to see success and lose the most weight and know what to do moving forward and to help your challengers lose the most weight, everyone needs to track. And so I want you to be able to, because I know a lot of you write, I'm following it to a T and I didn't lose weight. What's the deal? And you're going to have challengers say that too. Like, I'm following the program, I'm following the guidelines, but I'm not losing weight. What's the deal? And oh, thank you, Miranda. And I want to help you understand that you need to learn from the tracker because no one's tracker is the same, and we all eat differently, and there is no eating to a T. Sometimes people say, I'm eating perfectly according to plan, and I didn't see a weight loss. Now what do I do? There is no exact plan. I never tell you how many ounces of protein to have. I never tell you how many cups of vegetables to eat. I never told you how many accessories to have. So there's no such thing. So a lot of times people will say like, I'm following it perfectly. Why am I not losing weight? You can't follow it perfectly. There is no perfect. There's no perfect in life, and there's no perfect with this program, and you have to find your perfect. So I want you to, oh, Nayeli, I'm so happy you said that you love the tracker. So I want to today talk about how to get more people loving the tracker. And the best way to love the tracker is to look at it as a learning tool and never get frustrated. Always be open to learning. Hey, Luciana, so let me explain it. So like I'll have a client come into my office and they'll say, okay, they'll bring me their tracker. Now, the first things first that I want you guys to understand, the first thing is the weight loss comes week by week. Day to day, it's feedback, but week to week is progress. So sometimes I'll see a client and I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh my God, you lost 2 pounds this week. That's awesome. Because I'll look at that first and they'll say, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. I was so negative day to day. I didn't even realize I lost 2 pounds this week. So, and that's like so unfortunate. So you have to realize that day to day you might be frustrated or you might be learning and stuff like that, but you always have to zoom out and get perspective because week to week you should be seeing a weight loss. Even if day to day you're confused or it's finicky or whatever, just the more you track, the better off you'll do. So anytime you're frustrated or you're feeling like, oh, well, hey, I thought I was going to go down more today or something, just zoom out and realize you're probably still down overall. Okay, so that's first. The first things first is you need to track. Okay. The second thing is weight loss success is determined weekly, not daily. Okay, daily is just feedback. The third thing, if you feel, oh, there is no perfect, okay, it's all about defining your perfect, okay? And the fourth thing is, if you're trying to help a challenger or you're trying to help yourself and you can't figure out what's making it go up or what's making it go down, the one word that the one thing I look for are open-ended foods. So anytime someone is frustrated with their weight loss or doesn't know why they're not losing weight, I tend to see words like grapes or pasta or cookies or even like healthy food like guacamole. And it's not that these foods are bad, but they're open-ended. There's a tablespoon of guacamole and there's a quarter cup of guacamole. They're very different. There's 10 grapes and there's half a container of grapes while you're unpacking the groceries. So that's one of the biggest red flags for me when I see someone isn't losing as much weight as they want to, or they're feeling frustrated. It usually comes down to open-ended foods. So now that I'm preparing to have a baby and go into weight loss mode, the one thing that I focus on when I'm in weight loss mode is closed-ended foods. Is like I don't like to eat grapes when, like, I love grapes, but I don't usually eat them when I'm in weight loss mode. I'll eat an apple. I'll eat a pear. I'll eat an orange. I'll eat foods that are easily trackable. I will have a slice of high fiber bread. I won't start eating high fiber crackers. I might have a 100-calorie pack of almonds. I'm not taking my hand to a box of almonds. Okay. I probably am not having loose guacamole. I'm probably having a quarter slice of an avocado mashed with something else, or a 100-calorie pack of guacamole. When you're in weight loss mode and you're trying to figure out everything the best and you don't want to be frustrated, the best thing to do is have closed-ended foods that are very easily trackable. And when you have a challenger or you yourself are confused by your weight loss, you might see in your tracker, you write foods like wine. How much wine? Okay, or chocolate. Was it a square or was it like a handful of chocolate covered raisins? They're very different. And I try on my Instagram page to show how different can be. Could be really different. So I really, really, really recommend when you're trying to analyze your tracker or someone else's tracker, I always have a red flag up for open-ended foods. The next thing is a lot of times people aren't tracking water, okay? And when people don't track water, they usually tell me, but I drink a lot of water. But when I see they do track water, I see they have better weight loss. So I always make sure that people are tracking their water, because when people do track their water, they tend to lose more weight. And when they don't track their water, they say, oh, but I still drink a lot of water, but they haven't lost weight. So there is a difference. Other things I look for when I'm analyzing a tracker. I look for how many times of eating there are. Usually when someone's not losing weight, it seems great, but there's probably 5 times of eating. Breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, something like that. So, or it's, breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner. And I always ask them, like, did you need the snack? Because sometimes, and I don't ever like to tell someone not to have something. I never tell someone, I'll never tell a client, like, I see you have 2 snacks here, like, let's take them out. I'll never say that. But I do like to ask questions. I see you have 2 snacks here. Do you think you need them? And I like them to come up with it. I like you to come up with it. It's like why I like Dinteo. Do I need this eating opportunity? Because if I have to tell myself, Alana, don't eat that, it makes me want to eat it more. But when I inquire, like, do I really need that? It makes me really question it without judgment. And I find that to be a lot more impactful. So when a client or a customer or you are analyzing yourself and you're trying to see, like, oh, I have this snack, you got to ask yourself, is it habit or is it hunger? Are the snacks habit or hunger? Okay. And this could be about, like, your post-workout snack or your, like all your post-workout, pre-workout, all these things. Like, do you really need it? Or you feel like you need it because you read it in Men's Health magazine or Women's Health magazine? Like, you got to ask yourself these things, because it could be the smallest little thing that's holding you back from a weight loss day and making you feel frustrated. So I really, really, really recommend you kind of ask yourself, like, is that habit or is that hunger? Like, do you feel like you had that because you needed it, or did you actually need it? So it's different. What's it based on? So other things is someone wrote that they went on vacation for 4 days and they gained 4 pounds, and they had wine and all these things, but they're frustrated because they feel like they were plating it while on vacation. If you're eating at a restaurant or you're on vacation, it's frustrating because you feel like you're making better choices than maybe the people you're with. or maybe that you made before. So imagine if you can gain 4 pounds on vacation in 4 days, imagine how much you were probably gaining before this was when you weren't going on the scale and aware of it, probably a lot more. A lot of it is probably salt. The restaurants like to do so many weird things to our food. They don't just make a steak. When I make a steak at home, I put it on the grill. If you watch the Food Network, when they make a steak on the Food Network, they're basting it in butter. It's totally different. So, I mean, you gotta, like, for yourself and helping others, are there restaurants involved? Because restaurants are tricky. Are there restaurants involved? Because restaurants are tricky. What else are my top things in looking at a tracker? Time. 7 is times. Later dinners usually make the scale go up. So sometimes people will say, I didn't eat as well today, but the scale went down. Now I'm confused. Well, it's like maybe you didn't eat as well, but maybe you had like a 5 p.m. dinner, and even though you said like you had treats, you had like 4 M&Ms and a light dinner around 6, and the other night you're eating like this really salty, bigger dinner at like 8, and so you're kind of confused why the scales said different things. So there's so many things to look at in the tracker. Timing, constipation. Are you going to the bathroom? Like one person wrote who said that she gained 4 pounds in 4 days on vacation. A lot of people wrote, were you going to the bathroom regularly? Because traveling can cause constipation. Huge reason why the scale could go up. So bathroom habits, sleeping. I'm seeing a lot of you writing that you like notice that sleeping causes you, the more you sleep, the more weight you lose. So I love that. So what other questions you have? So Mindy said, what's a good time for dinner? I don't like to give someone a time because let's say you don't get home till 7. I'm not going to tell you have dinner at 6 if you're in a meeting at 6. So, you know, it's really up for you to write down your times that you're eating dinner in the tracker and find out what your best times are. I would love to have dinner every night at 5, but that's not usually realistic for me. Sometimes it's 7:30. And so the one thing I have to tell you is that if you're eating dinner later, you also have to question how much you need, right? So that's important to think about is, are you eating dinner at 6 and you might want to have, you know, 6 shrimp and a whole bag of cauliflower rice and you know, a jarred marinara sauce and Parmesan cheese, make sure you're full and satisfied so you can be dinner and done. That's one thing. Now, let's say you drink a ton of water, you maybe had some baby carrots, but you had to run a couple of errands, and you're now not having dinner till 8 o'clock when you get home. Do you need 6 shrimp? Maybe now you only need 5. And because you're going to sleep sooner and you don't want to go to sleep feeling stuffed, so you can, you know, feel more regular. So you have to use that intuition, and you have to ask yourself questions like, well, now it is really late. I'm going to bed. What do I really need right now? And I want to let you guys know, this is a skill, and being that aware of what your body needs is one of the most amazing, rewarding skills ever that you're going to absolutely love, but it's an acquired skill, and you don't have it 2 weeks into the program. So right now, the best recommendation I can give you is just write everything down. If you bite it, write it. If you drink it, ink it. The more you write down, the more you go on the scale, the better you'll have information for pulling out these patterns and figuring out your best system. Okay? So you need to, all these first 3 weeks are about is inputting as much information as possible in the tracker, and you will see you will come up with these patterns. You will start being like, oh my God, it is zucchini noodles. I need 3 zucchinis and I need 6 shrimp and I need that, and I always drop weight the next day, and you'll start loving it. And then you'll start seeing, like, a lot of you write to me like, are peas an FFC or beans an FFC? Like, I mean, I feel like it's the food lists really answer a lot of it. Someone this weekend asked me, is papaya and dragon fruit an FFC? I didn't double check with the food list, but I'm shocked if they're not on. But they're fruits, like fruits or FFCs. But at the end of the day, even if you don't have that answer immediately from me or someone at Beachbody, you'll learn from the tracker if it works from you. And you have to be patient and open to learning to see that, like, oh, when I have papaya at lunch, the scale goes down. I want to get more papaya. Like, you'll start discovering what works really well for you. And then someone asked, are beans at dinner an FFC? And someone else wrote, like, someone wrote, are peas an FFC? And another person responded within our group, said, sugar snap peas are a veggie. Peas are an FFC. I realized that really quickly when I had peas at dinner and I gained weight the next day. I kind of realized why. And so it's like, I want you guys to understand that more important than plated, more important than the food list are your personal experiences. Plated is a suggestion, it's a recommendation, but ultimately each of us are different. And we're all going to have different patterns. We're all going to have different dinner times that work for us. We're all going to have different proteins. We're all going to have different accessories. We're all going to have to come up with our own, and everyone has to realize that. So this is a learning process, and that's why more people lose weight in month 2 than month 1, because month 1 is about learning. Month 2, you'll go into melting mode. You'll figure out your best system, and it'll just start shedding off of you. But you have to be open-minded and patient with the process. And women, like, if you're getting your period, you have to understand, like, what that pattern brings for you. So we're all different. Okay. Yes, Saudi, tracking is the blueprint. So I'm going to post this. And the other thing I want to talk about, and then I want to take a million questions. The other thing I want to talk about is, so I wanted to go through, like, how to analyze a tracker best. And what else came up this weekend? Okay, what questions do you guys have? Should someone's goal weight be the goal after a certain period of time? I have one friend with more than 100 pounds to lose. She's feeling overwhelmed. Lucille, that's why she has to go 2 pounds at a time. I really lost my 100 pounds, 2 pounds at a time. I'm about to go back into weight loss mode. I have a goal weight in mind, but I'm only going to get there 2 pounds at a time. And so, Lucille, do not let her be overwhelmed. Just tell her to, if she weighs 250, tell her the only thing to focus on is 248. Christina says she's not able to make a bowel movement every day. She's been averaging 120 ounces of water. You're eating so many veggies, using the plate method. Should you be going once a day? I would still give it a day or two. You should start going to the bathroom every day. But, you know, the healthy amount of pooping is twice a day to twice a week, like, is considered healthy and normal. So don't make yourself crazy if it's not every day, if it's every other day, if it's 4 times a week. But you will see, as you drink more water and eat more veggies and you're more consistent with this, you'll probably start going to the bathroom more likely at least once a day, if not every other day. Liz Fitzgerald asked, are there adjustments for postmenopausal women? Postmenopausal women and breastfeeding women keep asking me if there are special adjustments. There are no special adjustments for breastfeeding or postmenopausal women. I actually sometimes see, like, some of the greatest success among breastfeeding and postmenopausal women, because a lot of them don't get their period, and that's like one less curveball to overcome. So a lot of times breastfeeding women will feel like they need that Snactional, which is fine, or more Shore model, certainly more water. But if anything, like, I lost my best weight. I lost, 50 pounds in 6 months when I was breastfeeding my daughter. I plan to do it again this time. I work with so many postmenopausal women who do incredibly well with the program. I do find postmenopausal women tend to be a little more sensitive to carbohydrates. So usually they find that it's not 2 slices of bread at lunch, it's 1 slice of bread at lunch that works best for them. But again, that's for everyone to figure it on their own. So I don't like to make that blanket statement for postmenopausal women because they're all different. But, a lot of you are asking, are there special adjustments for PCOS? Are there special adjustments for breastfeeding? Are there special adjustments for postmenopausal women? Are there special adjustments for this thyroid condition? There's special adjustments for every single person. That's why it always comes down to the tracker. and figuring out what special adjustments you need to make. So, you know, if you feel like you need to make a special adjustment and you need 2 hard-boiled eggs as your snack, or 3, or you need more veggies here, or you need more water here, then you have to make those adjustments. But there's no real template of adjustments that I would make for you. I would say, you know, kind of figure them on your own. A lot of people are asking me, like, there are some vegetables that give me indigestion. So then you have to make those modifications and choose the vegetables that don't give you indigestion. And again, a lot of that intuition will come out by you using the tracker. So what about women in perimenopause? So, like, again, it comes down to, if you're sweating a lot, if you're going through menopause and you're sweating a lot and you're having hot flashes, you'll need more water. So, you know, I would definitely consider that. And I would use your tracker and you see, like, which food patterns are working best for you. Rachel's saying, are there special tips for hypothyroid? No, we've had dozens and dozens of women and men do the program with hypothyroid and lose a lot of weight by using the tracker, being patient, and figuring out their best system. Okay, Ayelet Rab said she gained 1 pound this week. She's tracking 3 weeks. She lost 4 pounds the first 2 weeks and then gained 1 pound back. Okay, if you guys are confused, as to, like, why you gained 1 pound, I need you to post your tracker. Okay, I need you to post your tracker, and I want you to go back to what I just posted here, which is what I look for when analyzing a tracker. First is that you are tracking. Second of all is that you're looking at total weight loss success bi-weekly, not necessarily daily. Daily is just feedback. 3 is understand that there is no perfect. So never get frustrated and say, I ate perfectly and didn't see weight loss, because there is no such thing. Be open to learning and figuring out what your perfect is. 4 is, Ayelet Rab, I want you to listen to this, is 4 is, were there open-ended foods? Grapes, wine, crackers, nuts, peanut butter, like shredded cheese, like all of these are open-ended foods that I usually see people are frustrated or awakened when these words come up without any specific thing. So, like, when people write cookies and they don't write 1 cookie, 2 cookie, where's it from, what's going on? Wine, was it 5 ounces? Was it 20 ounces? What was it? Okay. 6 is kind of asking yourself, like, the pre-workout snack, the post-workout snack, whatever snack, like, was it habit or was it hunger? Did you need it? Asking yourself, were there restaurants involved? If there were restaurants involved, it could go up no matter what, even if you feel like you ate so perfectly, just because, like I said, there's so much sneaky salt and butter in that. And also, you have to analyze times. What times did you eat? Have you been going to the bathroom? And how much are you sleeping? So there's a lot of questions you need to ask yourself before you get frustrated by a weight gain, okay? So Jennifer said, there are people who don't like eating breakfast. So do people who don't like eating breakfast or have a hard time eating breakfast, how to give them suggestions. So here's the thing with breakfast. If people are nauseous by breakfast and don't want to eat breakfast, I don't force anyone to eat breakfast. I recommend breakfast, but I don't force people to have a breakfast. What I do realize is that when people say they don't like breakfast, it's usually because they're eating too much late at night. And when you eat too much late at night, you don't have an appetite for breakfast. So when anyone tells me they're not eating breakfast, they don't like breakfast, my big question to them is, are you dinner and done? What time are you eating dinner? What are you having for dinner? Because the goal is to have a lighter dinner and eat more throughout the day and less at night. And usually when I focus on that, we get an appetite for breakfast. So I recommend that. Okay. Kate, a lot of people are asking, Kate Stewart, and a lot of people are asking, like, the scale went up later in the day. Never weigh yourselves later in the day. You can't pay me to go on the scale after the morning. Okay, only go on the scale first thing in the morning after using the bathroom. You do not want to go on the scale after lunch. You don't want to go on the scale after lunch. You don't want to go on the scale after breakfast. You don't want to go on the scale after your coffee because there's water weight. You want to go on the scale after it's been like 10 hours of not eating or drinking. So even people who are working night shifts and nurses and anyone with night shifts, like in terms of using the scale, it should be after you have not eaten or drank for at least 10, like for about like at least 8 to 10 hours. So that's your dry weight. So yes, the scale is going to go up like crazy if you want it later in the day because it's water and vegetables. It's not anything real or anything that you should be frustrated about. Holly Ann, there's no such thing as a broken metabolism. That you wouldn't be able to live. You would not be able to live with a broken metabolism. You could have a slow metabolism. So Holly Ann asked, can you have a broken metabolism? There's no such thing. If you're living and you have, like you're living and breathing, that means that there's a metabolism happening. If you've pooped in the last week, that means you have a metabolism. But you could have a slow metabolism. Now, I have a very slow metabolism, and that's not a bad thing. So let me explain. A lot of people say they have a slow metabolism. I do too. I actually, like with everything else, I look at the positive in life. So I look at the positive of a slow metabolism means the rate in which you break down food is slower than other people. That actually means you stay fuller longer. So if you think you're like me and you have a slow metabolism, then even more so, you likely do not need to have a snack. Does that make sense? Because you break down food slower. You're fuller longer, especially when you eat the plated method, especially when you have protein at every meal, you're staying fuller longer, so you shouldn't need that snack. So if you feel like you have a slow metabolism, even more so, you shouldn't be eating 5 times a day. You should eat your meals and let your metabolism work and break it down and get an appetite for the next time you eat. So that is what I could say like that. Gas. You're all saying you have gas. My best advice if you have gas is to take digestive enzymes. So I really recommend you take digestive enzymes. Beachbody has one optimized that you can actually buy separately. I think it was in the 3-day refresh package, but you can actually get it separately. Or you could get digestive enzymes from anywhere. There are actually some digestive enzymes in Shakeology, so I recommend having Shakeology like in the morning because then you get those digestive enzymes in for the day. But digestive enzymes, you can buy them from any drugstore. If you take them before a meal of gassy vegetables, it will help you break down the vegetables. And it's not a permanent thing, and it's a total safe thing. It's like we have digestive enzymes, you're just taking more digestive enzymes to help break down the vegetables and reduce gassiness. And it's kind of like supply and demand. So the more you eat vegetables, the more you're better at digesting them and the less gassy you will be over time. Sarah said, should this program work for people who are not active? Yes. Like they barely move. Like they sit at the desk, they move. Absolutely. But just know, this program takes modifications. Everyone has modifications. If you're really not active and you're really not moving, even more so, you probably don't need an extra snack or something else like that. So everyone has to, everyone can do this, whether you're active, you're not active, and whatnot. My baby is kicking. Guys, I think I am going into labor soon, so I'm trying to answer as many questions as possible. I am like really at the end here, guys. My due date's tomorrow. How quickly should we have breakfast after waking? Olga asked how quickly you should have breakfast after waking. I tend to have breakfast within an hour of getting up. Everyone's different. Shaza asked, Energize has 115 milligrams of sodium. You could totally take Energize with the 2B mindset. I think out of the 37,000 people in this group, I think like 20,000 people have Energize every day. I think that's like a real Beachbody staple, and people see a lot of success having it. I love Energize before a workout. I just also love coffee, so sometimes I try to be careful not to make it too jittery. What other questions? Okay, Beatrix asked, if we work out first thing in the morning, should we split up our breakfast, plate it? Everyone's different. So if you work out first thing in the morning, some people like to have a full breakfast before. Some people like to only have water and energize before and a full breakfast after. Some people like to have like an apple before and recover or Shakeology afterward and split it up. So everyone has to use their own thing. Yeah, guys, I feel like I'm winded. I'm so sorry. I'm so pregnant. I love you guys so much. I want to make sure I answer all your questions just in case I become unavailable for a minute. But Elise Sloan said she's nervous about the weekend and Memorial Day weekend. All I could say is that you have a lot of time between now and Memorial Day weekend to lose 1 to 2 pounds even before then, and go in with a plan. Bring a lot of raw snackable veggies with you. Bring tons of water. And I want to give you guys one last bit of advice. Thank you, Leah. I want to give you guys, Jesse asked about probiotics. There's absolutely no harm in taking probiotics. I love probiotics. I recommend probiotics. There's probiotics in Shakeology, which is great. Carissa, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna close. I want to end you guys off with one. Oh my gosh, Kenny, you're race to having a baby. Okay, I want to close with one bit of inspiration, which I think is really fun. I have a family member doing the 2B mindset, and he's rocking it. He's doing so well. And we were at a very tempting meal together today, and there was a lot of temptations everywhere. And I'm telling him, like, just stay focused, just stay focused. And I came up with something that I think is really cute. So I want you all to play the game. There aren't a lot of people live on now, but I want you guys to play this with me. Okay, in your head, I want you to think of your goal weight. Now, it could be a goal weight, like a number, or it could be like a clothing size, or it doesn't even have to be a goal weight. It could be like that you want to do 30 push-ups, or you want to, like, let's say you have high blood sugar or high blood pressure levels. It could be, you know, an optimal blood sugar level, an optimal cholesterol level, any sort of number or parameter that you have that you kind of associate with good health. If you're an athlete and you're not trying to lose weight, is it like a 7-minute mile or an 8-minute mile? Like whatever number you have in your head that is something you're working towards. Okay, so I all want you to have that number in your head. So for him, he told me it was 188. He wants to be 188 pounds. So I told him, this is the new little mantra that I have in your head, which is RT 188. And he's like, what does that mean? I'm like, if you're on your road to 188. And I thought this was really fun. So it's like when his wife is offering him cake, it's like, oh, honey, no, I'm RT 188. Like, it's a fun little code name that, like, you could use at parties that no one really understands what it is, but, like, you and your, like, close friends know what it is, and it's, like, something you're keeping yourself accountable to. Because I always tell you guys that weight loss mode is fun, and I always tell you that progress is enjoyable, and I always tell you that it's not, like, you're not happy once you get to 188. It's like you're enjoying the road to 188. Like you enjoy it. You should enjoy it every day as you're seeing progress and as you're learning and as you're working towards this bigger goal. So I'm like really a big fan of this now. And like, I'm like RT 188. Like I was saying it to him everywhere I saw him because it's like, you don't need that. It's like something like you want to like paste on your refrigerator, or like anytime you're like someone's offering you beer on Memorial Day weekend or fries or a bun, it's like, I'm on RT 188 or I'm on RT 150 or I'm on RT 132. And it's like, you realize like I'm on the road to something bigger and greater. And it helps you like realize like, I love you guys are all writing RT 160, RT 129. I think it's so fun. I have my RT in mind that I want to be post-pregnancy. So healthy BMI. Melissa, like I love like RT 25. Like whatever number floats your boat. But I just think it's like fun. It's like a fun mantra you have in your head to realize like, I'm on this mission now. Like all these things will be there later. Memorial Day will easily be Labor Day. Like I personally have a very big goal in mind for Labor Day. I know what weight I want to be by Labor Day. Like Labor Day doesn't have much different foods than Memorial Day will have. So anything you see this weekend that might tempt you, like RT 120, whatever, RT 152, RT 190, RT 220, whatever you're at, keep that in mind. I'm on the road to something bigger and greater, and realize all that stuff will be there later on. I love that you guys are loving the RTs. I think it's like such a fun personal hashtag. It's like such a like fun infusement of positivity. I love you guys so much. I have to go. I feel like I'm so, oh, Kara, thank you. Okay, go have that baby. I love you guys. I am so excited to be in weight loss mode with you all. I am very excited to be in weight loss mode with you guys. I'm going to hopefully help answer all your questions. Just know, like, all your questions, like, is this an FFC? Is that an accessory? Is this a good time to eat dinner? What do I do if I have this schedule? When should I eat my snack? When should I have all of those questions? Just know, with tracking and with patience and with an open mind to learning and growing and progressing, you will get the answers. And the more you write down, the better off you'll be. Okay. I love you guys so much. Have the greatest night, and keep kicking butt. Mwah.